with all that being said, can we shut the up, bro? Oh my goodness. I'm going to go off a little bit for a second. It's the same thing as the Hamzat DDP fight. Before the fight, he's not going to take him down. His stand-ups are disgusting. JDM's going to light him up on the feet. This, that. Whaley's going to dominate her. After the fight, it's boring. They're just holding. Lay and pray. This is boring. This sucks. What happened to the guy that you just said was going to be dominant? Piece him up on the feet. Have great stand-ups. Oh, Islam's boring. He's not even looking for a sub. He's laying and praying. How many Darces did he try? Oh, it can't be that Craig Jones jiu-jitsu that he taught JDM, and JDM's just decent enough to not get submitted. No, it's Islam's boring. I mean, Make it make sense, bro.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode here on Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my good buddy JP. And in today's episode, we will be breaking down and giving our predictions for every single fight. UFC Fight Night, Tsarukyan versus Hooker. But before we do, we just want to take a quick second to shout out you guys as our current viewers, our current subscribers. Welcome to Locked Door MMA community. For all those that joined this past week, it was a good weekend for us as far as, a subscriber standpoint and new followers on the TikTok. We appreciate you guys. It was a big card, UFC 322. Did it live up to the hype? Let us know your guys' thoughts in the comments. JP, I know we have some thoughts to share on the biggest pay-per-view on paper of the year this past weekend. Let's start with John Pork, Chonko. I want to talk about that first.
Chonko.
Chonko, let's talk about that first. Probably one of the best fights of the night, especially on the main card.
Man, I mean, before we discuss that, first things first. Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate you. The video did very well for us. We appreciate that. Everybody new here, thank you so much. Also, want to get out of the way. November 17th. Happy birthday to my pops. Would have been 66. Appreciate you. Raiders couldn't get a win for you. Shocker. But yeah. Anyways, John Pork, Mr. Porky. I don't know. Crazy stuff. I don't know how that wasn't. I mean, I know Dana said he didn't even think about it, but I mean, the ultimate troll in Dylan Dennis. I see mixed reactions of people online. Some people are like, oh, that's pussy stuff. 10-on-1, a bunch of people 12-on-1, whatever it was. And then other people are like, fuck Dylan Dennis, hate Dylan Dennis. I get it. I'm not a Dylan Dennis fan either. I think he's a dweeb. I mean, play stupid games, win stupid prizes, in my mind. Right? Obviously, the 10v1 thing is what it is. These guys have been known to do that. Just go ask Artem Lobov, when they cornered his ass. And that's why Connor was throwing a dolly through a window. Okay? But I mean, crazy fight there. I saw that random security guard just get absolutely booted in the face. He looks over the barrier and just gets kicked right in the head. I thought it was hilarious, though. I showed my sister and my brother-in-law when I found it on social media. When we were watching the fights, they thought it was fucking hilarious, too. So, I mean, entertaining, that's for sure.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, like you said, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. I don't care who you are. Dylan Dennis, he had that coming, bro. And if it wasn't the Islam, the Muslim Brotherhood, the Islam teammates, it was going to be Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
Like that was kind of already, in the cards as far as what was going to go down on Saturday. Dylan Dennis is always looking for trouble. He's a clout chaser. He thinks he can beat these top level UFC fighters, but he's not even good. He's not even a good fighter. Sure, the grappling's there for him, but he's never going to make it in the UFC. Dana doesn't want him in the UFC. He's already been banned now from all UFC events moving forward. The dude's done. Look for him to go back into boxing and try to fight some YouTuber because that's all he does is chase clout. So I'm good on the Dylan Dennis. If you guys are Dylan Dennis supporters, sure, great. That's good for you. I think I think he's a loser. And he had that coming. So.
Yeah, I mean, again, you talk that much shit online. What are you expecting to happen, bro?
Especially to those guys.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. I mean, that's the last group of individuals that I would just talk shit to. These Arizona fighters. Sure, I'll catch you at Trader Joe's. It is what it is. I'm not talking shit to the Muslim Brotherhood. All right, those guys. Those guys. Yeah, I'm not touching it.
Yeah, I mean, those dudes, you wave fire in their face and they all freak out. They're all like Neanderthals. So, yeah, of course they're all just gonna. That one dude took his hat off and turned around and handed it to his friend.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he was ready to
Protect
go
my
on
hat.
site. He said, "All this guy's by himself. Hey, hold this."
Yeah.
But I don't know. Other than that, what a card. What a card. Which fight you want to talk about first? Where do you want to start?
I think we start with the Leon Edwards Carlos Prates fight. I really think that's where things started to get very interesting for us, and something that we called on the show that a lot of people probably didn't see coming.
I mean, Carlos Prates, dude. The elite fight finishing. We said it. And we talked a lot about that fight before we did the video last week. I think we told you guys that, like, we were discussing that quite a bit. Leon, I mean, credit to him. He did go out there in the first round and look to implement his grappling, took his back and everything. I know a lot of people like to aura farm or clip farm nowadays. Carlos Prates did that successfully. Standing there, just making that face, getting punched in the head. Well, that was pretty funny. But yeah, Jesus Christ, starched him. And then everybody's making jokes that Leon was smiling when he's sitting on the ground, dude. Yeah, Carlos. We'll talk about it later when we talk about Ian, but I just think that makes Ian's win look that much better. Carlos is nasty, bro. I like Prates a lot.
Yeah, so do I. And you really got to take a look at that and be like, wow, Leon Edwards never been knocked out in his UFC career or ever. I mean, and we talked about it on the show. Leon has always had success against top level strikers, and he's fought some really good ones. So to never been knocked out before this, that just tells you how much power Carlos Prates actually possesses in his hands. It's absolutely mind blowing. You kind of saw it coming. I like to see that version of Carlos Prates that is talking, getting inside these guys' heads,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Make them stand in front of them, because when they do that, that is probably the biggest mistake that you possibly can make. And if I would have known that Carlos Prates, would have got Leon Edwards to just stand right in front of him, I think my hesitations about that fight would have been a lot less. I did think Leon did a nice job. He kind of showed you, like, in a 3-round fight against a top level striker, he'll press forward and he'll look to grapple. He'll look to get his takedowns. He'll look to take your back. Like, he does do that. That was on film. It was apparent. But what wasn't on film was him getting absolutely starched, which is exactly what happened. So, great performance from Carlos Prates.
Yeah, I didn't think Leon looked bad by any means. Obviously, he got knocked out, but like, I thought he looked like he had a little bit more urgency than normal, because I was saying he's a quitter and stuff like that. But crazy. Sean Brady, Michael Morales. I mean, we told you guys how much we liked Michael. We did end up picking Brady. If you ask me, I still like Michael Morales a lot. I think he's going to be a problem. I don't think Brady had a good game plan. I really don't. I think it was similar to the Bilal JDM fight. I mean, I don't care about you reaching out and grabbing him, trying to push him against the cage. I don't care about any of that, bro. You are a wrestler and a great grappler. You need to shoot fucking immediately. And if you don't get it, shoot 5 more times. You're letting a phenomenal striker, big as shit, long pause, just stand there in his wheelhouse and tee off on you. And Morales was not being technical. I'm not saying he isn't. Like, I'm not saying any of that. He's very good. But I think he knew. Like, I don't have to be, I can just throw this wild looping overhand. Because Brady's stand-up is not there. He has nothing to offer him. Clipped him, and then Sean still didn't level change. Like, he's trying to grab him and do trips and shit. No. Shoot a double. Shoot a single. Be on his hips on the cage. Like, you got to do way more than that.
Yeah, I think the problem with that fight was, you talked about it. I mean, Michael Morales gave a different look. He wasn't very technical. His stance changed a little bit. He had those hips really far back. It was going to be very hard to get in on the hips. He's so damn massive for this division. Like, he looked big. On paper, it was like, oh, he's 2 inches taller. He's got a little bit longer reach, yada, yada, yada. No, this dude's a monster. He's a monster for that division. And you could see it when he was out there against Sean Brady. And yeah, Sean, you could tell he's a little bit hesitant to shoot in. Maybe a knee was coming up the middle. Maybe
True.
you would have had some teeth completely removed from your mouth because Michael Morales is an absolute animal inside that cage. But props to him. And we really got to put some respect on Michael Morales' power. It wasn't all that present early on in his UFC career. It's came on in a big way against some of um, the best people in this division, with the Gilbert Burns and now with the Sean Brady on your resume as far as getting those KO victories, which not a lot of people knock those guys out in the fashion that he does. Which is super impressive. And I called it in the TikTok, or I talked about it. I don't want to see him and Carlos Prates right now. Like, let's let that linger a little
Yeah.
bit because man, that fight would be amazing as well. Um, scary dudes inside that division. And if I'm the champ right now, I'm sitting there like, yikes, these guys are monsters coming up through the ranks. But we've got a lot of great guys inside of that division. And we'll talk about some of them a little bit later on. JP, the main events, the co-main, the main event, one word to describe those: domination. That's what it was, from Shevchenko getting the grappling, the wrestling off on Wei Li. The strength was apparent. We talked about that as well. And for those haters on YouTube, well, what do you mean she's going to be stronger than Wei Li? Well, you got your answer. All right. That's exactly what I meant. And then Islam. Same thing. A lot of people, oh, you think Islam's going to move up and be stronger than JDM? Yeah, I do. The dude he discovered creatine. All right. Listen, he looked like a freaking animal. I think he's probably going to be one of the toughest guys to beat. Yeah, if not already the toughest guy to beat inside the UFC. So crazy, crazy dominant performance. JDM didn't have any answers whatsoever in the leg kicks. I didn't expect that either. The calf kicks from
Jeez.
Islam. Wow, if you add that to your repertoire, Islam's a dangerous, dangerous man.
Big ones out the gate. Massive ones. They were landing flush. Yeah, dude. I, I'm not gonna go completely nuts, but for one the breakdowns we had for both fights, I felt were pretty good. I expected a bunch of backlash, not backlash, but like arguments towards the JDM side. I know everybody was talking about that one. The Valentina one, people thought Wei Li was just gonna kind of run her over, and me and you both thought that's kind of sure she slowed down a little bit, but like watch how the fight goes. That's how every Valentina fight goes. She stands there and she doesn't move a lot. She stands there and she just kind of jitters a little bit, right? But she's so fucking fast. She's like a snake. Like if you miss a leg kick or if you miss something, boom, boom, boom. And I think Wei Li caught that knee to the body early, got hit early, and was like, I think she was really confused how to enter. I really do. With all that being said, can we shut the fuck up, bro? Oh my goodness. I'm going to go off a little bit for a second. It's the same thing as the Khamzat DDP fight. Before the fight, he's not going to take him down. His stand-ups are disgusting. JDM's going to light him up on the feet. This, that. Wei Li's going to dominate her. After the fight, it's boring. They're just holding. Lay and pray. This is boring. This sucks. What happened to the guy that you just said was going to be dominant? Piece him up on the feet. Have great stand-ups. Oh, Islam's boring. He's not even looking for a sub. He's laying and praying. How many Darces did he try? Oh, it can't be that Craig Jones jiu-jitsu that he taught JDM. And JDM's just decent enough to not get submitted. No, it's Islam's boring. I mean, Make it make sense, bro. I'm not telling you to say this is the most exciting co-main and main event you've ever seen in your life. Obviously not. Some people aren't wrestling fans. I get it. Cry about it some more, though. Jesus Christ. It's dominant win. Islam did what he does. He's strong as shit, takes you down, smothers you. But no, it's him not looking for a finish. He can't do this. He's not trying to submit him. He tried to Darce him. JDM was just good enough to not get submitted, but he got dominated.
Yeah.
Quit crying that it's boring.
JDM offered nothing off of the bottom. He barely even worked himself back up to his feet. And that's what we were saying before the fights. These JDM boyfriends out there, that's why all these Australian MMA fans, they're annoying as hell because they'll back JDM until they die, but then they'll be like, "Oh, it was boring, and he just want to take him down and doesn't allow him to strike." Shut up. Honestly, shut up. Like, if you guys couldn't see that fight going that way, it is what it is. I get it. You're biased. That's what we said in the breakdown, and it was apparent after the fights, and y'all were crying in the comment section. Yeah. I mean, it is what it is, bro. Islam took care of your boy. You can keep crying. Your boyfriend lost.
Like, bro, before the fight, you're so high on JDM, and then afterwards, it's just Islam's boring. This was boring. Because JDM's good enough to not get finished, but he got dominated in grappling. Yeah, it is what it fucking is. Again, I'm not saying it's the most entertaining thing ever to watch. I get it. Right? I get it. But also, Torres Finney fights in the fucking UFC. Go watch one of his fights and then complain to me the Islam fight was more.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like Islam doesn't finish people ever, right? He's been known to finish fights all the time. Sorry that your boy was good enough.
Complain. And if you want to complain about a boring fight, blame JDM. Blame JDM's takedown defense. Blame JDM's grappling, because that's what causes a boring fight. So it's not on the guy that can easily take your boy down and control him. It's the guy that cannot get back up to his feet, right? Go complain to JDM and his camp because they did a terrible job prepping him for Islam. All right, JP, we spent too long talking about UFC 322. We could talk about it forever. We've got a new fight card this weekend with some good names on it for UFC Fight Night. I'm excited about it. Hopefully you guys are too. Starting with two heavyweights, Marek Bujlo taking on Denzel Freeman.
Oh, man. Butt cheeks fight here. What a butt cheeks fight. Also, early one. Very early. 10 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. If you're on the West Coast. Okay, so rise and shine. Get your orange juice. Butt cheeks heavyweight fight here, man. Also, if everybody want to talk about boring, if you guys thought last weekend's co-main and main were boring, there's going to be a couple fights on here that I think have the possibility to just blow those out of the water. Okay. Mark or Merrick, whatever. He's a grappling guy, jiu-jitsu guy. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think his resume is fucking atrocious. If you watch, we got FBI investigating rigged fights. Go watch Merrick's fights and tell me those aren't staged or whatever. He's fighting janitors. I mean, these dudes are just covering up and laying down. It's terrible. But he's a jiu-jitsu guy, going to look to grapple. Doesn't have much to offer on the feet. He's slow. Denzel, he can wrestle. Former Marine, so he's probably gritty. When he throws, it's decent. But again, they're heavyweights and they gas out all the fucking time. We're going to take Denzel. I think he's dog money. We don't have the odds right now on DraftKings, but we're taking Denzel. He can wrestle a little bit, and he's just better on the feet. He might be able to outdog Merrick. We're not going to bet on it. Not going to put a lot of stock into it. This fight sucks. Give us Denzel.
Yeah, it's two guys making their UFC debut, right? Two heavyweights. And anytime you got that, you don't really know what to expect because in a lot of these promotions, these guys are fighting cans, right? They're fighting janitors, guys that just got off of their 9 to 5, showing up to the arena for an amateur bout. You know, that's kind of what you're getting. Denzel Freeman, like JP said, former Marine, he's tough. He's going to be gritty. I think he can find a takedown in this fight, given the fact that Marek's got this jiu-jitsu background. All those big guys, they're comfortable off their back. He's probably going to be fine if he goes to his back, but that's a heavyweight. If you do that too often, it just takes one shot, one elbow, one hammer fist, and all of a sudden that position's changed. And then Freeman's going to have the upper hand, being on top of you inside your guard, landing big bombs, from above you. So this fight, I could see it going that way. I think Freeman's got probably a little bit slower punches on the feet, but probably a lot more power to offer. Bujlo's also never been out of the first round in a lot of those fights. So I'll be interested to see what he looks like if the fight does go long. I believe Freeman's got the better gas tank, even though he's the bigger guy size-wise. So we'll see how this fight goes, but don't put a lot of stock into it. It's just kind of one of those, like, let's find out who wins. Let's see what they're made of. Let's see how they perform inside their UFC debut. But yeah, give us Denzel Freeman.
Yeah, and Freeman's also from Colorado, so you would hope the gas tank much better there. But, all right, moving up. Decent little one here. Nicholas Dalby. Like the third, fourth time I think we've seen him since starting the show. taking on Saigid Izagakhmaev.
Beautiful pronunciation. Yeah, Saigid, Russian fighter. I think there's going to be a lot of hype behind him. He's making his UFC debut as well at the age of 31 years old. He's got a lot of submissions on his resume, 12 wins via submission. I like these guys that do the grappling tournaments in between their fights. They stay sharp. They keep their skills very prevalent, ready for these moments. Making his UFC debut against a brawler in Nicholas Dalby, who we've seen have his ups and downs inside the UFC. He's 7-5 because of that. He's on a 2-fight skid as of late, and I think this is going to be a really tough opponent for him in Saigid. Saigid's going to be a little bit bigger than him. He's probably going to have more power in his hands. I think Dalby's only path to victory here is wear Saigid out to the point that he just can't really stand, and then Dalby finds some kind of finish, right? That's kind of how Dalby fights these days. At 41 years old, he just really hopes that guys gas. Saigid's, like I said, going to be bigger, going to have more power, in my opinion, and then it has the grappling upside as well. So for that, we're taking Saigid, Izagakhmaev, whatever you said it like. You said it way better than I did, but beautiful last name, and a beautiful fighter. Not necessarily a beautiful face, but good skills.
Yeah. I listen to people say it because when I watch film now, I just listen to how their names are pronounced because some of these names are just fucking ridiculous. But yeah, dude. I mean,
I was gonna chime in real quick. Say something, dude. I was looking back at some old photos, right? In high school, I was dating someone who really didn't like the mustache, and so I had the beard and no mustache. I looked very, very Russian in high school, like shorter hair, the beard with no mustache. Like I think I was Russian.
You could have been part of the Muslim Brotherhood.
Yes.
I mean,
They were
you're
calling me pork chop or whatever.
John Pork. I mean, the way
They would have been
that
calling me.
that one lady spelled your name when you got food the other day, you could just end that with Maev.
Ravina Maev.
Yeah, Ravina Maev. Yeah, I mean, you looked Russian, and I look like a little redheaded troll. So everybody's got their stuff, you know. But yeah, dude, Dalby, he's a dog, right? He really is. Like he'll make entertaining fights, but he always drops the first round or two or first round and a half. And then the other guy gets tired, and then Dalby's still coming forward, putting it on him, beating his ass. Dalby's decently well-rounded. Like Brevin said, he's 41. Like, how long can you have that style for? We understand that, like, Angela Hill's still fighting and Muslim Salikhov's still fighting. Both of them just lost. They're 41. Like, it's just the truth. Having that style at that age is extremely hard. Granted, Saigid hasn't fought in a while because he's over at one championship. But yeah, like Brevin said, he's just got the upside. We're in Qatar. Yeah, give us Saigid.
All right, moving up this card, we've got Narulo Aliev taking on Shakim Rock.
Another guy making his debut, right? Mr. Rock. Shakim. I told you guys earlier, okay? If you thought the co-main and main were boring last weekend, this is a fight that has the potential to really open your eyes and show you that we should have been grateful for last weekend, okay? Rolo Aliev, okay? This dude. He looks similar to Habib, I guess. That's what people say. I don't see it crazy much.
In the Tapology photo, it's apparent.
I can see it a little bit. I'm going to keep my thoughts that I have right now in my head, and I'm not going to say it.
Do you think it's going to be disrespectful? They're going to come after JP now. They just got done with Dylan Dennis, and now it's JP on the hot seat.
They all kind of look the same to me. Whatever. But anyways.
Well, it's a style. I mean, they are required to have their hair cut in that manner, and they're required to, I think that, I don't know if it's a requirement, but I know the haircut piece of it is a requirement. I know a lot of them don't have the mustache, right? They shave that off. So like the structure of how they do it, but especially the haircut, they have to have it cut in a certain way. And a lot of those Dagestani training camps, they get whipped by a stick if their haircut's like not aligned, and not the way they want it to be. It's kind of like a boot camp, like a military boot camp. You have to have your hair cut a certain way.
These dudes, man. Jesus Christ. um, yeah, Rolo is a grapple heavy guy. Okay, he looks like Khabib, kind of fights like Khabib. He'll stand on the feet, and he'll be more defensively sound than he is offensively active. Right? He's not looking to get clipped with anything big. He's looking to just do enough, and then feint his big overhand right. He'll paw that jab out there, feint the big overhand right. The moment you react to that and your hands come up, boom, he's level changing on your hips, right? Shaquem is a grappler, okay? So that might seem like, oh, he can survive. Shaquem likes his submissions. He likes his back takes. He likes his rear nakeds. And he likes his guillotines. Nurulo has been in multiple extremely deep guillotines, and this dude will not tap, okay? He's one of those guys that you literally have to put unconscious because he's not going to tap to a submission, right? Brevin's talking about they got to have their hair like this and no mustache. Well, they also have to go out because they don't tap like chicken, brother. Okay, literally all of them think that way. And if Shaquem's constantly pulling gillies, not gonna get it because Nurulo he doesn't freak out in guillotines. He'll sit there and let you gas your arms out. He'll angle himself off, put pressure onto you, and take some of the pressure off his neck. At a certain point, you're just on your back too much. You're still throwing stuff up. Shaquem on the feet, he's okay. He likes his rear teep and his rear high kick, right? He'll throw the body kick with that rear leg a lot too. I don't know. Making his UFC debut against a guy who's looking to grapple him and has great top control. And I think, again, this is a classic case of one guy's really good wrestler, good top control. The other guy's really good at jiu-jitsu and thinks he can put somebody out anywhere. He's going to jump a lot of submissions on his back a lot. If it's a close fight, I think it goes to Aliev as well because we're in Qatar. Give us a Rolo.
Yeah, 1,000%. All right, moving up this card, we've got the Man of Steel, Ryan Loder, taking on Ismail Naurdiev.
You want this one since this is your boy?
This is my boy, Ryan Loder, the All-American, great wrestler. Came onto the scene very fresh, like hasn't spent a lot of time with MMA, right? So he's still fresh to the game. He was a wrestler at heart, and you can see that in his fights. He's going to look to shoot takedowns, and his striking's kind of still developing. And anytime you got a guy like that, you worry about the stand up, right? Can you get to those double legs? Can you get top control? And then can you put guys into crucifixes and finish fights in that way? And that's exactly what Ryan Loder does when he has success. He's putting guys in crucifixes. He's on top of them, just pounding away, ground and pound, right? Ismail Naurdiev, good power on the feet and really a pretty well-rounded fighter. He had a tough fight with Jun Young Park where he ended up losing, had a great first round. But there were some illegal strikes in that one. Really kind of changed the fight, but Jun Young Park rallied and came back to beat him. He's got a little bit more UFC experience, and to me, he's got the better hands. So and as of late, guys, I'll self-admittedly, I've taken a lot of wrestlers, right? Just thinking they're gonna get in on those takedowns and it's gonna change the fight, and that really hasn't been the case. And even now with the judging, you've seen a lot of takedowns where not a lot's being done from the top. They're not really scoring those very heavily for the wrestlers, where that used to be, a very dominant position for the judges. And they're like, well, he controlled them from the top the majority of the round. We're going to give him the round. Well, he landed no strikes. And now they're kind of changing their viewpoints on that a little bit. So we'll see how this one plays out. If Ryan Loder can get his takedowns and really find control, it could change the fight. But I do think Nardi is skilled enough and has enough UFC experience to keep this fight standing and then ultimately knock out Ryan Loder. We're taking Ismail Naurdiev. Give me Ishmael by KO. We didn't see a great stand-up performance from Ryan Loder in his last time out, getting KO'd early. He starts eating a few shots. He doesn't really react well, which worries me. I mean, think of the Bo Nickel and RDR performance. That's kind of what that looked like as well. So if Ishmael can land a few body shots, maybe one big shot to the head, Ryan Loder is going to feel very uncomfortable. It's really going to stifle any takedown attempts that he does offer. And I think that changes the fight.
Yeah, man. I mean, and we're not high on Naurdiev. I used to be. Like when he was coming back, I was like, this guy's got a lot of potential. Getting re-signed to the UFC might make a little bit of a run. He's all right. But in this one, he's definitely the more well-rounded guy. We're in the big cage, so if Loder can't get to him, gonna be a problem. And like Brevin said, he reacts horribly when he starts getting clipped. Right, we're not moving with both our hands up. He's normally got one hand up. It's a lot of rocking back and forth and dipping, a lot of extreme movements. And he's not always gonna shoot. Right, he's gonna try and throw something out there to get the guy off him, which is okay, but you got to do it with the right technique. And he just doesn't because he is fresh. Right, so we could see him come out here and maybe improve in the stand-up a little bit. If we do, that'll be a good thing to see. But yeah, the big cage, if he can't get his wrestling off, I think Naurdiev tees off on the feet a little bit, so we're taking him.
All right, moving up this card, I'm really excited for this fight. It's going to show us a lot about these two individuals. We've got Beksat Almakhan taking on Alexandre Topuria.
Great fight. Great fight here. Two, what do they call it? Blue chip prospects. Is that what they call it?
Yeah. It's going to be like, well, not this year, but your draft picks coming up in Dynasty. You're going to have some blue chip prospects there, but I don't even know. Do you have any first rounders this year?
Yeah.
JP's so active, guys. He gives draft picks away. He gets them back. I don't know what's going on with the guy.
Yeah, I got a first this year. Guys, my fantasy season's over in Dynasty, okay? All right, we traded CMC. I know. Everybody almost just turned off the video. I get it. Okay, we did get a little bit of a haul for him. But we traded CMC. And Jamar Chase is spitting on people. He's suspended. Michael Penix, he's hurt. He's to the IR. Bo Nix, he's on bye. Jesus fucking Christ. So it might be chalked. All right. But anyways. Yeah, these two guys, good prospects. Beksat, I mean, made a bunch of noise, took on Umar. I believe it was on slightly short notice or something like that.
It was pretty short notice, yeah, for sure.
And dropped him, right? Immediately in the fight. Boom! Big overhand, drops Umar. Probably made,
like, oh my God.
Shit. Made us shit our pants. Made Umar shit his pants, probably. Crazy. This dude's got a lot of speed, a lot of power. At range, he's scary to deal with for a small guy. He's absolutely jacked for his size. And he's good. I like him. I like him a lot. He's a terror to deal with. Topuria, everybody knows, older brother of Ilia. All you got to do is watch him fight. The boxing looks the same. He can grapple just as well. I mean, he might not be... People say he's not as good in the stand-up as Ilia. I think Ilia takes more chances because he knows he can knock anybody the fuck out. I think Alexandre... And some people don't like his win over Colby. I didn't mind it. Hasn't fought in a while. Didn't take a lot of risky moments. Knew that he would be able to win it. I like Topuria's... like both of them. I talk about it all the time. I love their boxing. Their footwork, how they switch side to side. Their punches are perfect technique. They're throwing their hips into it, their body into it. It's very quick. Defensively, I think Alexandre is a little bit better defensively, right? I said last week, Carlos Prates is a stalker, and he's just going to stalk you until he clips you, and then elite finishing ability. Topuria is kind of the same way. He's like a hunter. Okay, so I don't use the same word. He'll hunt you down, right? He'll stand in front of you. He'll be on his front foot. He'll be very slow and methodical. It's not fast, but he's reading you. You might land a leg kick. After that, you're going to have to put something in front of it because he's going to be out of the way or checking it. Very close fight. We're going to take Topuria, the older Topuria brother. We think he has a grappling upside. Okay, Beksat, not the best with takedown defense. I think he relies on his speed and athletic ability because he is extremely athletic. But Topuria is smart. The grappling upside's there. And I think the boxing, if Beksat can't land that big shot from the outside, which I think he might have trouble with, I think Topuria might do work on the inside. A lot of work on the inside. And getting clipped by him on the inside is a problem. Very close fight, but we're taking Topuria.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm excited for this one. The one thing that I worry with Topuria on it, and really any of the boxers, is like the shell defense. You know, they have their arms up, like your typical boxing defense. But with the MMA gloves, it's much harder to defend strikes off the forearms and deflect them, because they're slipping through the guard. And so, like, if we do that too much in the pocket with Bexat, that's the only area that I'm like a little bit worried that Bexat could land something big because JP alluded to it, but Bexat, very athletic, very explosive. He will load up into something big, and if it does slip the boxing guard from Topuria, it could be trouble, right? But you got to think Topuria's been sparring with his brother. He's grew up with his brother. I mean, he was a MMA coach, like he was coaching for years before getting himself into the UFC, and so like the skills, the IQ, everything's there for Topuria. He's just got to put it all together. Now, the other thing too is Bexat's got like twice the amount of fights on his resume that Topuria does. But to kind of counter that a little bit, Topuria's been around the sport. He's been around the game for so long. Like I said, he was coaching. It's good to see him now in the UFC. He's really just got to show us all the skill sets that he possesses. JP said he will have the grappling advantage, but like I think he's got some power in there too. And I would really like for him to start showing his knockout power similar to his brothers, right? Because if he can start utilizing that on top of his grappling upside, then he's going to be a big problem in this division, especially at 135. So yeah, hopefully he can land a KO strike in this one and really show us that he's got the power that his brother also possesses.
Yeah, their boxing is just gorgeous to watch. I love their striking. All right, moving up, a very interesting one here. Tagir Ulanbekov going up against Kyoji Horiguchi, the return of Mr. Gucci.
The return of the gooch. I love it. Yeah, very interesting guy here. And Horiguchi, he fought in the UFC a long, long time ago. I believe it was not like 9 years ago or something like that. Fought some good opponents. Has a fight against Demetrius Johnson. To kind of age him a little bit. Um, Left the UFC. He's been fighting in Ryzen, been fighting in Bellator, and then back in Ryzen. He's had some success. He's got a pretty fairly recent win over Sergio Pettis, who has found a lot of success over in Bellator, and the PFL as well. So this guy is very skilled and he's very experienced in the sport. He's taken on Tagir Ulanbekov, who is going to look to wrestle. He does really good work in the clinch. He does really good work with trips. Now with Tagir, the one thing that worries me a little bit is his head movement on the feet. He's kind of one of those guys that stands a little bit flat-footed, gets hit more than he should, right? He takes a little bit more damage than he should. But I do believe he is the more skilled fighter, and if this fight goes to the ground, I do favor Ulanbekov's top pressure. And I do favor Tagir in the clinch as well. With Horiguchi being outside of the UFC for so long, sure, that's still top competition, especially inside of Bellator and the PFL. But it's not as good of a level as these UFC fighters, especially someone like Tagir, who's been fighting top level competition for some time now. And I was telling JP before we started filming, Horiguchi has a fight against Patchy Mix, who falls into the same trap of not really moving his feet very well and not moving his head off the center line. Kyoji actually lost that matchup, didn't get him out of there. Now, if he would have, starched Patchy Mix or something like that, I'd be a little bit more worried for Tagir. But in this one, I think Tagir is going to be just fine. We're taking Tagir Ulanbekov. I believe he's just the more well-rounded fighter at this point in their careers.
Yeah, I know we haven't talked a lot about betting props in this one. I would stay away from this fight, guys. Okay, Horiguchi isn't a pushover, right? I mean, he fought for the belt, right? He fought DJ for the belt a long time ago. Obviously, I get it, a long time ago. But like Brevin said, this dude is 34-5. Shit ton of experience. A lot of experience. He's seen it all. And Tagir, I mean, I was telling Brevin before the show, kind of reminds me of the Tim Elliott fight. Tim Elliott, a lot of people don't think is good. He's a crafty, weird vet. And does a lot of weird shit in the octagon, and if you aren't on your P's and Q's, Tim Elliott will upset you, right? I think this could be a similar thing, but then again, we are in Qatar. if it's a close fight, it's gonna go to Tagir. It just is. That's how these things go. But yeah, I would stay away from it. I wouldn't put much merit into it. And also, Brevin, doing this show, we learn a lot of things about a bunch of different fighters. You learn more about mixed martial arts. I know me and you dabble in this and that. Can't say it doesn't teach you anything, because I've learned a shit ton about geography doing this researching shit now too.
Yeah, I didn't really pay that much attention in school, but now with the show, I've learned a lot about geography as well. And I've learned a lot about these other languages and how to pronunciate their names. Even though I'm still struggling,
Yeah.
I'm learning.
Yeah. I mean, today I was looking at maps because I was like, I don't even know where Qatar is. It was the same story with Azerbaijan. I was like, I didn't even know this was a fucking place. But yeah, I didn't pay attention either in school, and I feel like I've learned quite a bit about geography since doing the show.
Yeah. I was telling a lot of people that I knew, even at work, about Azerbaijan being below sea level. I thought that was a cool fact.
Yeah, right on the Caspian Sea, over by the Caucasus Mountains, over by Georgia.
Look at us.
And then
Thriving.
Qatar's a little bit down, Hey, we know our stuff. Our history teacher would be proud.
Would be very proud. All right, moving up. We've got Abdul Rahman Yakhyaev taking on Rafael Cequeira.
Short and sweet, ladies and gentlemen. Give us Abdul Rahman Yakhyaev. Keep in mind, he is 24. Very young. Okay. We didn't talk about Tsarukyan earlier. I do want to say something. Stop. It's not cool to clip farm an aura farm. It is not. It's kind of embarrassing. It's kind of corny, especially if you don't get a fucking finish right away. Stop doing it. All these young kids, Jesus Christ, just get the win. All right, Carlos Prates did it. Then he got a nasty finish. Okay? There was some sus moments for Tsarukyan. All right?
Yeah, but then he also got a nasty finish.
He did get a finish at the end, but you're standing on the cage, and then Makanika walked over and was like, all right, and then put him against cage, hit him with an elbow. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? What? So keep in mind, Yakhyaev is young. He is pretty big, though. I mean, he can strike, he can grapple, got a lot of power. Same place as Khamzat, so everybody, oh my god, Khamzat Jr. Slow your roll. We'll see what he does. With that being said, Rafael Cequeira sucks. He's terrible. Get him out. He trains with Almeida. No, he doesn't. He gets water for Almeida because he's clearly not looking at the grappling side because dude has no fucking clue how to get up. Give us Yakhyaev.
Yeah, he has no clue to get up, and he has no clue how to defend punches to his face. He's very chinny. He's been knocked out multiple times. Doesn't have good striking. He was supposed to be this big fucking prospect. And, we did our little prospect segment a little while back, and I was big on Cequeira when he first came into the UFC. Watching some of his other fights on YouTube, doing my research, it's like, wow, this kid really has some skills. He's old. He's coming into the UFC. He's moving down some weight. He's going to be very athletic. He's got KO power. We've seen none of that. He's 0-3. I think this will probably be his final fight. I'm guessing they signed him to like a 4-fight contract because if they didn't, I don't know how he's still in the UFC. I bet this is his final fight. I think he gets knocked out or submitted. Easy one for us. Give us Yakhyaev.
Yeah, I mean, dude came into the UFC. This is another case. Undefeated. Brazilian. Oh, he's got striking power. Blah, blah, blah. He was fighting cans. Absolute cans in an octagon the size of my childhood bedroom. Like, what? One dude's shorts were ripped. You could see the dude's fucking right butt cheek, and he's fighting in it? What are we doing? No, these guys are terrible. Also, I do want to say, I understand Yakhyaev is like a minus 1,050 or something right now. Oh, no money. Can't make no money. They price you out. Not true. Not true. Okay. Ateba Gaudier, same thing. And we got to plus money on Ateba. Okay. So I'm just telling you guys. All right. I'll give you the method. You know what? I'm not even going to gatekeep the method like these dweebs. Comment or DM me a fire emoji. Shut up. Okay. What you do? These guys who are big favorites. All right. You do the same game parlay, same fight parlay, whatever. You take him to win by knockout. You take under a round and a half, or even half a round. That's what I did with Ateba. And then you look at their strikes. They're over-under for the strikes. And then I took the under on Ateba. His was 17 and a half, under a round, win by KO. Parlay all three of those. It gets you to plus money. Okay. If you don't want to do it and you're like, that's lame, then don't cry about the odds. All right. Bunch of crybabies out here. All right. Next one. Another guy making his UFC debut, a Scouser, Luke Riley, Mr. 11-0, going up against Bogdan Bald-Headed Grad.
Oh, man. Yeah. This is going to be an interesting matchup, guys. 11-0 Luke Riley. JP's out here telling me he's training with Paddy Pimblett, looking at, some of those things. And that's great. To have great training partners, that's wonderful. They share their knowledge, you get good sparring sessions and things like that. Luke Riley, I worry about his takedown defense. That was apparent on film. He's getting taken down in all of his wins. He's been clipped a couple of times. Like his striking defense, his chin are all in question. And Bogdan Grad is going to be someone that just puts a pace on these guys. He's in your face from the start of the fight till the finish. He never gives up on himself. He's always go, 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 go. Now, the thing with Grad is I don't love his striking defense either. He does a lot of, this weird stuff with his shell. He's got the left forearm out in front, all crooked. It looks not great. Okay, he's not deflecting punches off his forearm, but he believes he's going to do that. But yeah, he gets into the pocket. He causes mayhem. He causes hell. His striking isn't technical. It's kind of wild. It works for him, and he's going to look to shoot double legs and get in on the takedown. With Luke Riley, I think he's got a little bit more technical striking, but like I had mentioned, I think making your UFC debut against a wild man that's going to put a lot of pressure on you, it's a dangerous game to play. And with that, we're taking Bogdan Grad, the big-time underdog here. He's got the UFC experience. He's taken on the newcomer, in a foreign country that Luke Riley's probably not been to before. It's a lot of pressure on a pretty good UFC fight night card. We think Bogdan Grad's going to have the experience and the wherewithal to get the job done over newcomer Luke Riley.
Hey guys, I'll be honest with you, okay? If you guys want to make fun of somebody or talk all the shit in the world when this fight goes on, and if Luke Riley wins, you can do it directed towards this redheaded guy, okay? This ginger right here, right? This is one of the ones before the show me and Brevin talked a lot about. We were back and forth about, okay? And I will stand on this 100%. I wanted to go Grad. I do not see shit in this Luke Riley kid, all right? I will stand 10 toes on that. His resume is trash. Everybody who he's fighting, terrible. All the guys he's knocking out, chinny. On top of that, he gets clipped by most of them. He should have been finished already, and one of them fumbled the finish. His takedown defense is horrendous. Brevin brought up him training with Paddy. Yeah, we like when you train with good training partners. Everything that Brevin said. But it's the same thing as Cequeira. What the fuck are you doing with the information? It's going in one ear, out the other. It does not look good. He just looks like he doesn't know what he's doing out there. And then Bogdan Grad. Yeah, he does this funky shit with his elbows. It looks terrible. But he's pressure right away, in your face. He will level change right away. He's a tough son of a bitch. He has power. And Luke, they call him a volume boxer. No, he's not. He does not throw volume unless he hurts you. I don't like that. Other than that, he'll stand in front of you and not throw a bunch. He'll throw 1 to 2 at a time, and that's about it. Is it decent when he does? Yeah, it looks okay. It's straight, kind of quick. He's got a little bit of power. I mean, he's got 8 knockouts, but again, all of them are chinny. He's fighting bums. Like Brevin said, you're making a UFC debut in a foreign country. Bogdan Grad's going to be in your face the whole fucking time. Give us Bogdan Grad, man.
Yeah, 1,000%. All right, moving up this card, we are now in the main card. We've got Alex Perez taking on Asu Almabayev.
Interesting little fight here. Alex Perez making his return from that brutal knee injury that Tatsuro Taira gave to him. And the interesting thing about Perez, man, everybody will notice this. You look at his resume, he's losing to a lot of high-level guys. All right, I don't care whether Mokaev's in the UFC, not in the UFC. He's still a pretty decent fighter. And Perez has fought the who's who of these divisions. You know, losing to Figueiredo, losing to Pantoja, losing to Muhammed Mokaev, then losing to Taita. Nobody's going to sue him for that, right? We always talk about having good losses. I'll sue Almabayev. I got to recount it. I counted it earlier. What was it? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 fight win streak before he lost to Manel Cop. And that's for good reason. Suham Mavayev, crazy fit. Just absolutely ripped. Good cardio. He's on you like white on rice. You know, he's going to try and wrestle you. He's not a big guy, but it doesn't matter. He's going to be on your back, wear on you. He's one of those guys that knows how to throw his body weight around enough to keep it from being hard to stand up. On the feet, he's maybe a little bit lackluster. He's got a lot to grow from that, probably. But just like Perez not suing him for his losses, I'm not going to sue Asu. That was weird to say. For losing to Manel Cop. Manel Cop is elite on the feet. Very good on the feet. But I don't know, man. I'm not a fan of Perez's striking. And I know he's losing a good comp, but you're still losing. Right? And then you beat Mateus Nicolau. Nicolau's very chinny. Coming back off a knee injury, and you're going to have to do nothing but grapple like a mug in this fight. And again, it's in Qatar. Asu's from Kazakhstan, which is a couple thousand miles north. Give us Asu Almabayev.
Yeah, 1000%. I think the knee injury comes into play. Like, how much are you willing to grapple if you're Alex Perez? And at what point do you just allow Almabayev to take the back and put the choke in? That's kind of what I see this fight going down. Like, Asu, great grappler. I think he's got some work to do with his stand-up game a little bit. But like JP alluded to, not a huge fan of Alex Perez's stand-up game either. And I think Asu's just been on a tear, and he's one of those risers that I think is going to work his way into the top 10 of the division. Whereas Alex Perez is one of these gatekeepers that I feel like is going to fall outside of the ranks there. So we're taking Asu Almabayev. I'm excited about him moving forward.
All right. Here we go. The big boys are back at it again. Sergey Spivac. After a very close fight with Where's Waldo, some think should have won that fight. Taking on the king of the blobs, Lord Blob himself, Shamil Gaziev.
Yeah, I'm excited to see who wins this fight because I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't been very high on Shamil Gaziev. He puts decent pressure on guys. He'll look to wrestle. Um, I guess he's got some power. I mean, he is a heavyweight, so they all got power. He knocked out Thomas Pearson, but Thomas Pearson has shown recently that he's chinny. So in this matchup, he's taking on Spivac, who's fought really good competition inside this heavyweight division. He's eaten punches. He's got good grappling. And I think that he's going to have an advantage if it does go down to the ground as far as submission threats go. Whereas Gaziev is just going to look to lay on you, right, and control you. Spivac also, from a size perspective, isn't like too small for this matchup, and sometimes that does come into play in these Gaziev fights. Like, he's just bigger than these guys. He wears on them. He falls on them. They end up falling over, and he gets the better of the position. But Spivac's no slouch. I think he's really good, and I think at dog value, it's really hard for us not to take Sergey. So we're taking Sergey Spivac. He's got the grappling edge. He's probably got the faster hands, and if this fight goes past, the middle of the second round, look for Spivac to start pouring it on, and look for Gaziev to start to fade from a cardio's perspective. So with that, we favor Spivac.
100%, man. Dog money. Give us Spivac. If you look at the Blob's resume, okay, his Contender Series win, rear naked, whatever. We've seen some guys on Contenders that just aren't good. Martin Boudet win. All right, for all the new subscribers, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. You guys don't know, I don't think we've hated on anybody more than Martin Boudet. I mean, that dude's trash, and he's not even in the UFC anymore, and he was like 7-1 in the UFC. Gaziev quit on the stool against Rosenstrike. You guys know how I feel about that. Once a quitter, always a quitter. Cannot stand that shit. And then a Dontel Mays decision. Dontel's a plotter who just sucks, can't move. Thomas Peterson, like Brevin said, chinny guy. Because he's getting knocked out right and left, right? So he's, like Brevin's saying, he's fighting guys who are slow and not good. Dontel Mays is not good. Martin Boudet sucks. Stupid slow. I mean, I think I could walk 40 yards faster than Martin Boudet's running it. You know, he's a snail. Sergey's going to be the most active heavyweight, meaning like he can move the best. Is Sergey stand up this big crazy stuff? No. But his jiu-jitsu off his back, his armbar off his back, I've never seen a big guy move like that and throw up subs like that. Very impressive. And he was striking perfectly fine with Waldo in the last fight. I do not like Where's Waldo. I think Sergey should have got that decision. So he should be coming off a win. I agree. Give us dog money, Sergey Spivac.
All right, moving up this card. We've got Jack Hermansson taking on Menifield Orolbai.
Our favorite guy, Mr. Menifield. What am I? Love this guy. All right, love this dude. And if you want to see a fighter's fighter who looks like a Neanderthal straight out of 10,000 BC, look no further than your boy Menifield. Okay. I mean, all you got to do is walk up to him. Hey, Menifield, how many fingers am I holding up? And he'll answer you every single time. Oh, attaboy. That's all you need. Okay. How many rounds are you going to win out of 3, Menifield? Oh, absolutely. That gets the job fucking done. All right. Long story short, we're taking Menifield. What about? Love this guy. Vocal stim, if you can't tell. I love saying his name. He's moving up a weight class because he can't figure out the weight cut at 170 or at 155. So now he's moving up to 170. Jack Hermansson is 37 years old, just got knocked out, and is now cutting down from 185 to 170. Do not like that one bit. And Brevin, it's not like he's one of those guys like a Kelvin Gastelum who can't make any fucking weight, who's a little pudgy. When Jack Hermansson fights, he's fucking ripped. Like, dude has a full-on six-pack. And now you're going to cut down 15 more pounds? I don't like it. Don't like it. Don't understand it. Give us Menifield back. What about?
Yeah, I wonder if there's something else going on there. I mean, you're 37 years old, and now you're making the decision to cut to 170. It's just actually mind-boggling. I don't know how he's even going to do it. Who knows if he even makes weight this week? I'm not sure. I guess we'll find out more as the week goes on. But yeah, Menifield, good for him. He no longer has to have problems with the weight. I think this is really just going to unlock his skill set. Good grappler, good wrestler. Look for him to, have success against Jack. Maybe take the back. Maybe find a submission there. So yeah, I'm excited about Menifield at this new weight class.
Love this guy. What about? All right. Moving up, next one, Volkan Oezdemir going up against Alonzo Menifield.
I'll keep this one short and sweet. Alonzo's been fighting decent as of late. He's 38 years old. He's got, not the best IQ. And his 2 victories, Julius Juicebox Walker, former basketball player, not much UFC experience. That was a split decision. Then you took on Umar Sy, who for that one decided he did not want to wrestle anymore, and that's his best quality. In this one, Volkan Oezdemir, he's going to stand and bang with Alonzo, and I think that's just not a great matchup for Alonzo. Alonzo has shown at times that he can get knocked out. He's got 3 losses via KO, and I think in this one he gets knocked out as well. We're taking Volkan Oezdemir to get the job done over Alonzo. And if you want to bet this thing, look for the KO prop. I think Volkan's got the kind of power that puts Alonzo to sleep. Give us Volkan by KO.
Yeah, I feel like these are 2 very similar fighters, and one is just better than the other one to me. I think Volkan's just better. I think he can do more. He's got more power in his hands, and I think he's smarter. I really do not think Alonzo Menifield is a smart fighter. He has looked better recently, but I think that's because he's listening to his coach and listening to advice. I mean, the dude sprinted at Carlos Ulberg. I understand both of them have been knocked out by Ulberg. Alonso sprinted at him with his hands down. What? Give us Vulcan.
Yeah, 1000%. All right, moving up this card, we've got in the co-main, Bilal, remember the name Muhammed, taking on Ian Machado Garry.
Good fight. Good fight here. Excited for this one. I think this one might tell us who Islam's next fight is. And I'm saying that meaning if Ian Garry wins this one, I think he might be next in line for it. Short and sweet. We're taking Ian Garry. Okay. Everybody wanted to hate on Ian Garry. He's this, he's that. His wife is sleeping with other men. He's a bitch. Blah, blah, blah. Put him in the cuck chair. I don't give a shit. Okay. Since you guys seem to care what Ian Garry does in his personal life, and nobody gives a shit what John Jones is doing. That makes sense. I don't care. We've always been high on Ian Garry. Dude can strike. Dude can grapple. He has amazing footwork. His range management is phenomenal. And he's a very smart, cerebral fighter. You guys know we love that. We just talked about how dumb Menifield is. I think the Islam JDM fight proved what we've been saying this whole time. Obviously, Islam is a much better grappler. That's not what I'm saying. But I think Bilal had a dog shit game plan. Horrible game plan. Because I think Bilal falls into the ego category. Right? Oh, I'm going to show off my hands, Canelo hands. People are in an interview saying, Bilal, you're pretty decent on the feet. And Bilal interrupts and says, I'm better than decent. No, you're not. No, you are not. For one. For two, who cares? That just proves to me that he is worried what everybody thinks. Who cares? You're a great wrestler. You have great cardio. Stick to your fucking wheelhouse. And then implement the striking a little bit. We're in the big cage. This is a 3-round fight. I think both of those things favor Ian. Bilal showed he just chased JDM. Can't cut him off. And then his striking defense is not good. Ian Garry was also outstriking Prates. We talked about this in the Prates fight last weekend. Everybody wants to say, oh, Prates turned Ian into a wrestler. Not the first 3 rounds. He outstruck Prates. Then he clipped him, and yeah, Ian's, we said, a little snake in the grass, rolling around trying to grab ankles. I do not see Bilal Muhammad shutting down Ian Garry completely and ragdolling him. I do not. Ian can also grapple. We saw JDM have good stand-ups and defend Bilal's takedowns. I'm not saying Bilal can't take him down. He probably will, but I think Ian will be fine. I really do. And then on the feet, Bilal's going to have a lot of trouble. And I think it goes similar to the JDM fight. We're taking Ian Garry.
Yeah, I think this is just going to be Ian Garry's breakout win. He's got the better hands. Bilal has shown that some of these guys, he wants to test himself and show the boxing improvements and all that. That's great. If Bilal wants to win, he needs to find takedowns. He needs to find control time. Ian Garry's no slouch, So I think in the stand-up, look for Ian Garry to find success. I don't love Bilal's striking defense, and Ian's a very, very skilled fighter. A lot of these people are sleeping on Ian Garry because they just want to talk about all the other stuff, revolving around Ian Garry as opposed to his skill set as a fighter. He's a very, very good fighter. And like JP said, we've been on Ian Garry since the beginning. A lot of you guys just like to hate on him, and you don't want to pick him because of all the outside the octagon stuff and drama. That's fine. We'll keep making money on Ian Garry. So, yeah, I like him in this spot.
And like Brevin was saying earlier, before we started the show, all of his wins have just aged like wine. Carlos Prates win. And like Ian doesn't gas out. It's not like Ian has a problem with cardio. I know Bilal has great cardio. I understand that, but it's not like Ian's been known to gas out, right? Like the Shavkat loss. Sure, if he tweaks a couple things, he might finish that choke, but still, he put Shavkat in a position to possibly be finished. I don't care if Shavkat was hurt. Shavkat's always fucking hurt. He's never fighting. Don't care. But yeah, Ian Garry all the way.
Speaking of Shavkat, he was tweeting after the Islam fight, and he says that he's still the top contender. Jack Della was saying, the division's moved on from Shavkat, and then Shavkat fired back. He said, Jack, you forgot you were inactive for 14 months before. Um, like there's still an argument that Shavkat's next in line. I mean, Shavkat was supposed to have the fight against Bilal before the injury took him out of it, which gave JDM the shot at it in the first place. So I don't know. Very intriguing to see how that division plays out because now we've got a ton of title contenders with Islam, the GOAT, reigning in that division. It's probably the most fun, entertaining division in the UFC right now.
Oh, I agree. I agree 100%. Shavkat's an idiot. You didn't fight for a year until you fought last December, and now you still have not fought yet. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. If you're hurt, you're hurt. Get fixed. And now, like you're saying, we got a bunch of different contenders. We don't need to wait for you to come back and then have you do it right away. I think he needs another one now. You don't fight. I could care less if JDM was inactive for 14 months. He's been fighting. He beat Bilal.
Give Shavkat Michael Morales, bro.
Oh. Him or Protest, one of the two. I'd love to see that one.
I'd like to see the Michael Morales one more because I do think Shavkat would have success if he gets Carlos Prates down on the ground. We've seen that story before, right? Even with the Ian Garry matchup. But no one's taken down Michael Morales. And so it's either you take him down or he's gonna knock you out. Apparently, that's how every one of his fights are going. So, and the other thing too is Shavkat doesn't really do a great job of moving his head either. So,
100%.
Michael Morales could just load up on something massive.
Knocks out Shavkat. Dude, can you imagine? That man's stock would skyrocket more than it already has. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. lots of exciting things in the future for welterweight. Okay. All right. Main event. 155 time. Excited for this one. I think this one is also going to tell us a lot about the title future of 155. Dan Hooker going up against Arman Tsarukyan.
I'm excited for this matchup. I mean, you guys know Arman was he was scheduled to fight, got the back injury that pulled him out of the fight, right? Put him in the bad graces of the UFC. I don't know. It would have been a good matchup with him and Islam. I think he's got the grappling, the wrestling to at least, compete. Now, the other thing too, a lot of people are talking about the last fight between the two of them. If you've watched Islam's fights, JP, he looks like a different person. Like he's just improved so much, even throughout his fights, right? So we talk about, oh, these guys have fought before. It's hard to beat the same guy twice and yada yada yada. When some of these guys have just improved, like Merab, the Merabs of the world, if you fought Ricky Simone again, right? Like how much different would Merab look? Some of these guys have just improved so much. It's crazy. But anyways, Arman Tsarukyan, good grappler, good wrestler. He's got good hands. Dan Hooker, obviously we know the striking there, the toughness, the grittiness, the experience from Dan Hooker is always a problem. Dan Hooker's 35. He's going to be a little bit bigger than Arman. He's going to have a little bit more reach. He's probably going to have some success on the feet, but look for Arman to get inside, enter the pocket, find some takedowns, look to grapple Dan Hooker. I think that's the easiest path to success for Arman. We're taking Arman Tsarukyan to bounce back from pulling out of the fight with Islam to defeat Dan Hooker.
Yeah. I don't know whether you're a person who believes the back injury or not. I know there's all that conspiracy that he never had a back injury and he wasn't going to make weight, and so that's why he pulled out and blah, blah, blah. He was training 2 weeks after that, so it wasn't that serious. But yeah, I mean, on paper, and when you watch the film, Arman is far and away the much better, well-rounded fighter. He should 100% win. I like Dan Hooker. I don't know if Brevin likes Dan Hooker as much as I do. I enjoy Dan Hooker. I feel like if you're a UFC fan, a fight fan, you're gonna like Dan Hooker. He always makes it an entertaining fight, right? He's down to scrap. He's one of those New Zealand guys that just loves this shit. He gets punched in the face, and then you see him go to his corner and just sit there and laugh. And his corner has to tell him to shut up because he's laughing, saying, "I love this shit." The Dustin Poirier fight, phenomenal fight. right? Just going back and forth. I mean, this dude is just one of the most entertaining guys in the UFC, but Arman's good. Arman is very good. Grappling, stand up, all the above. Arman's hip mobility is crazy. The axe kicks he can throw up there. And I mean, it's hard to put him away on the ground too. Like, what is Dan gonna do? Because I do not foresee Dan being able to stuff Arman's takedowns. Maybe a couple, but he's not gonna be able to deal with it the whole time. And Arman can stand with him, like I said. Arman, he should far and away win this one. But Dan's entertaining. I like Dan, but this is gonna be too much for him.
It's good. I mean, and you look at the Mateusz Gamrot fight, right? Like Dan did a nice job with the grappling, the wrestling, but I do think Arman's striking is a lot better than Gamrot's, and like that's going to be the difference for me in this fight. Like you combine all that, then for me, Arman's the better fighter. But Dan's he's gonna be a brawler. He'll be in the fight.
Yeah, he's game for sure. And then like people are gonna, what you just said, people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're an idiot because Gamrot beat Arman."
Right.
MMA math doesn't fucking work. Last weekend should have shown you that. Should have proven that. I'm excited, man.
Yeah, it can work at times, but you got to really evaluate the fight. If all aspects are the same, then sure. Gamrot's just probably, he had more success that night in the pure wrestling against Arman, and Arman's game for that. Whereas Dan Hooker kept the fight standing, right, and then was able to outstrike him. And so in this one, Arman's got all the advantages, especially with the grappling, and the wrestling, and he's got better hands on the feet than Mateusz does. So like it's a different fight for sure.
And there's an argument that Gamrot still won that fight against Hooker. Like it was a very close fight.
It's a close fight for sure. All right, that does it for the card. It doesn't do it for the show. Don't go anywhere. We have your free show parlays coming your way right now, starting with Locked Door MMA's Lock of the Night. Ladies and gentlemen, if you agree with the Lock of the Night, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like, and comment down below who your Lock of the Night is. But JP, give the people what they've been asking for, the Lock of the Night.
Who are we locking? All right. I mean, the crazy shit at the end of the year, this last half of the year, has just been truly nuts. All right, our lock pulling out. Our lock getting hit by a car. Their original opponent pulling out, and then they turn out to be a one-trick pony. Malcolm Wellmaker, what the fuck were you doing? This one's pretty simple, though. We just talked about it. Far and away, the more well-rounded fighter, the better fighter. We're taking Arman Tsarukyan to beat Dan Hooker. I think it's going to be inside the distance. I really do. All right. People want to complain about the odds. He's a lock. All right. You do you. Find your own betting spots. We're not saying you have to play his fucking money line. Jesus Christ. People on TikTok just don't understand that. But yeah, give us Arman. I think he can finish Dan. We're taking him.
1000%. All right. Now it's time for Brevin's Basics, starting with the lock. Give us Arman Tsarukyan. Throw him in there. The next one, Volkan Oezdemir. Doesn't really make the basic all that often, but I do think he gets a KO on Saturday. And then to round us off, we're taking Abdul Rahman Yakhyaev to get it done over Rafael Cequeira. Now, the lines on that fight, yada yada. I don't want to hear the crying people out there, but you put all those three together, you should have decent odds for the basic.
I mean, yeah, that's where you're going to make your money on Yakhyaev also, is in parlays, right? Right. Great feeling about this weekend's juicer. I know I say that all the time, so do with that what you will. But here we go, juicer time, baby. Arman, he's a lock for a reason. Throw him in there. Ian Machado Garry. I think he just outworks Bilal, and the 3 rounds. The fact that it's 3 rounds, I think definitely favors Ian's style. Next one, Volkan Oezdemir. Same thing Brevin said. We do think he knocks Menifield out. Throw him in there. The 4th leg, the Neanderthal himself, Mito Bank. What a bite. Throw him in there. Jack Hermansson cutting down to 170 at 37. Do not like it. Do not like it at all. The big dog call on the card, Bogdan Grad. Don't like this Luke Riley kid. Like I said, Afterwards, you can come talk all the shit you want, even though half of the people don't even talk shit before the fights and like to run their mouth afterwards. Whatever. All right? Y'all can come talk shit to me. Say whatever you want. But Bogdan's winning. All right? I think Luke Riley is a fraud. And the next one, the older Topuria brother, Alexandre Topuria, the 6 leg. That one's going to be one hell of a fight. We might have to sweat that one out for sure to start the night or start the morning, I guess I should say. 6 legs plus 1890 right now. I got a good feeling about this. I know I say that every week.
Yeah, but some more than others. I think they're really good matchups, especially getting the dog money on 2 spots that we really feel like aren't deserving of it with the Bogdan Grad fight. Like, I think Grad should be the favorite. He's got the UFC experience. He's got power, pressure, pace, wrestling, all those things going for him. And Luke Riley still a little bit fresh, a little underdeveloped, and he's coming in as a big time favorite. We saw a little bit of a fraud check this past weekend with Wellmaker. Hopefully we see the same thing with Bogdan Grad over Luke Riley. But ladies and gentlemen, if you've made it this far or just were clicking through the video, make sure to like the video, comment down below who you got for this weekend, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps us out. Welcome to the Locked Door MMA community. We are so happy to have you a part of it. We're almost to 600. We were at 600 for a little bit, then people got mad. They left the channel, but we're hoping to rebuild and get you guys back as part of the community. We appreciate you as always. And JP, with that, I'll let you close us out.
Hey, next weekend, Thanksgiving, no card. Enjoy the time with your family. All right. No UFC will make you feel grateful when we do have UFC, boring or not. All right. We'd love to watch fights. Okay. Early card this weekend. Get up, rise and shine, orange juice, Alani's, Kaylani's, mimosas, whatever you got to do. All right. And enjoy your time. Parting words, Islam is the GOAT. I said what I said. He is my GOAT 1000%. He is that dude. And he's going to defend his belt more. And if he does, I think it's undisputed. Can't say shit about it. Just saying, unless we hear that he cheats, then you guys can have your John Jones GOAT back. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, another weekend. Another set of fights. As always, it was a pleasure. Bingo, bango, baby!